Okay, let's have a look at doing the paper 3 for June 2013. Okay, the first question as always is to make your evidence document. I'm going to skip this part of the actual exam. Okay, question 2. Create a new folder. So right mouse button, new folder. Okay, now we're going to go to this actual website. Once you're taken to the website, I would download, right mouse button, and I will save the actual zip folder into the new folder I've created. It's very important to save your work and download the work. Do not open the work. And then we'll extract the files. We'll just double check that we've got all those files. Now the next question, you have a style sheet, a cascading style sheet, which has already been prepared, but it contains numerous errors which need fixing. So I'm going to open up Microsoft Expressions. And we can see here there's numerous mistakes. So we've got the tag heading 1, colour reddish. So to the right hand side, I'm going to click on heading 1, I'm going to modify the actual style. And the first thing is this reddish. We know we roughly want a red colour, but the exact colour is 6600. Now, although the exam board says 0 here, we know it's hexadecimal and should be 00. So, I'm going to modify the hexadecimal here to say 66 for the red, 00 for the green, and 00 for the blue. Next part, we want Arial, but if it can't find Arial, we want it to find any sans serif font. The font size is massive and we need to change massive to 20 points. And this is pixels and we want points. We also want the text alignment to be centered. It's very important to check that we're using American spellings. Okay, now we need to move on to heading 2. Again, we want Arial, but any sans serif font if we can't find Arial. We don't want biggish for our font size, we want 15. The colour reddish, but again, not FF, but 66 for the amount of red that we want. And the text alignment, you see here it's been misspelled, so we want left. And we'll apply that. Heading 3. You can see this time purple actually exists as a colour, but we want a particular setting, which is 6600 CC. you should understand how the numbers represent, or how these numbers represent the colours, and how the letters are also used to represent the colours. The font size is 12 points. And the alignment again, centre. Okay, the list settings. So this time on a Times New Roman, and then to find any serif font, the value is 12 points. And I want it to be italic and not dark. This time it's no red, no green, no blue. We should already know that that represents black, so no red, no green, no blue. And our list, we want it to be a disc. And the body, so again black for the colour, Times New Roman, or any other serif font. 12 points and left aligned. Okay, now the body, you see here it's got background colour. You see it's spelt with the English spelling of colour, and therefore is an invalid statement. So we actually want our background, in this case I'm going to choose FFFC99. But you can see that background colour has been left, and we don't want that, so we'll just delete that. Now we need to save this. We'll make sure it's my style and your candidate number, but we need to make sure we are saving as a CSS file. And question 5, we saved it to our folder. We need to take a screenshot of that and put it in our evidence document. So now we need to, again using Microsoft Expressions, we're going to open up this HTML folder. And we're going to apply our style sheet. We would then change the center number, candidate number, and Microsoft Expressions can be a bit fiddly with doing the table borders, but we need to be careful that we select our entire table. You see here it's been selected, and we're going to change our cell padding to 10 and our cell border to 2. We can decide here whether we want just a table border or whether we're going to also be changing the cell properties as well, so the internal borders are 2 as well. For the time being, I'm just going to leave it as a table border. Now, select the most appropriate image downloaded in step 3. So we'd have to look at these images to find out which would be the most appropriate house. And this is for alternative text if the picture can't be found. I'm going to leave this all blank. Put in the image of a garage. Okay. Then the image of a small farm. Now you can see this one's quite large. That's not a problem. When this happens, it normally means later on you're going to be asked a question about resizing pictures. And as I've just put in the image of a small farm, I need to use this image to create a hyperlink to a new web page called farm.htm. So I'm going to right mouse button, select the hyperlink. Now at the moment it's on email, and I want it to, all my choices are available here. It's an existing page, a place in the document, create a new document. Well, in this case I'm creating a new document called farm.htm. But the target frame is it's going to be in a new window, and this new window is going to be called farm. And you can see here it's made a new farm for me. Okay, now we need an appropriate image of the vegetable shop. Okay, now all these pictures we've just imported, we need to make sure they're 180 pixels wide and maintain their aspect ratio. Now normally in pictures you would just click on the picture and you would start right mouse button, picture properties, go to my appearance, and here aspect ratio, so and changing the width to 180. Okay, now on the text sale, I need to create a text with the property, with the subject line property inquiry. So hyperlink, but this time it's an email address, and the subject line is property inquiry, and save this web page. things. One, we need to preview it in the browser, and to take a picture of that. If it's small or too big, I can make it a bit bigger to fit in. I also need to print the code, so I'll go print preview. Okay, there's a print preview of the actual page, but I don't want a preview of that. I want to actually just have my code. And there's a print preview of the code. If my code's gone over 2 pages, I'm going to go to the page setup and I'll write my name, candidate number and centre number in the header. Okay, now we need to make a new web page called Farm, which we'd already created previously, and attach the style sheet. So and now we need to open a table. It's got at least 2 columns and 3 rows, which we're then going to merge afterwards. Let's see here. And now I've got the A, B, C and D. And see, this automatically is either none or paragraph, and we want to put that as heading 1. And then question 23, open a copy of the image used in step 13, and that was the farm, and we need to remove 1/3 of the image. So that was this picture, so I need a copy of it. I need to copy it first. Now with Office Manager, I'm going to edit the pictures, I'm going to crop it. Now I could just start dragging up, but I know that the original size was 600, so I could crop 200 pixels and that will get rid of 1/3. And save my picture, and I will insert the copy just cropped. Okay, so I'll save. Need to make sure that's a paragraph. Okay, now the rest I need to get from a txt file. I could open this up in numerous packages, even expressions itself. Ignore the changing of that was a bit of a mistake on my behalf. So I'm just copying and pasting that text in, and it needs to be heading 3. Not too much. and set the table border to 2. Well, I need to make sure I've got the entire table highlighted, which can sometimes be a problem. And the border was 2. And again, we would preview it in the browser, and then we would print and that is the HTML section of the paper completed.